Hello, welcome. So, we just had an amazing birthday weekend for our dear friend in the house, Beth Hansford. Woo woo! And so, today, you guys, we are all about, in this community, it's amazing how much we not only become friends, but it almost feels like we become family. And so today we're just going to start off by singing a big happy birthday to Beth Hansford, who is my incredible virtual assistant here at the Online Tutor Coach. All right, you ready, Beth? I apologize for those of you who have to listen to my singing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beth. Happy birthday to you. Woohoo! Yay! Another great birthday, another great year. Sounds like you get to see your grandparents who you haven't seen in a while, and that is fantastic. Well, today, you guys, we are talking about how to make your attitudes your allies. And I would say that Beth is one of those people that does such a great job of really making her attitude her ally. She's always like in the right mindset of how can I help people? How can I serve them? How can I help them with what it is they need help with? And that is amazing. I absolutely love when people do that. So how we think, it says, so we've been reading the Magic of Thinking Big. We're on chapter 8 and kind of discussing this next chapter on making your attitudes your allies. And it says, how we think shows through in how we act. Attitudes are mirrors of the mind. They reflect thinking. Now, we have this restaurant that's right by us. It's called Culver's. And there's this one girl that, like, when you look at her at first, you kind of think she's a little crazy because she is just happy all of the time. I'm not even kidding you. Like, it is like 100%, it is on, and like Donkey Kong, right? And she's been working at this place for like 5 years. And like people come to the register and she's like, "Hi, how are you? How can I help you?" And she's just like, just happy. And she's like, "Oh, that's a great choice. I love what you just chose. Oh, you're going to love that." And she's just always like super, super happy. She greets people nicely. And sometimes it's a little over the top because you're just like, wow, she's like always happy. And people aren't used to seeing that, right? Like all the other employees that are there are just kind of like half dead. Okay, how can I help you? Uh-huh. All right, got it? Uh-huh. All right, here's your number. Awesome. That's it, right? Like it's just kind of like a half dead kind of situation. So this person, the last 5 years, I've actually watched her move up into the management, position. Shocking, right? Those people that have the best attitudes end up getting the best positions. When you come into work every single day and you are happy and you treat people with kindness and you have this great work ethic, great things happen for you. So it's no wonder that this person has moved up into a management position. Well, the other day I looked at her and I was just like, okay, something is up with that girl because she is like, she's deflated. She's like talking to the other employees, telling them to do this or tell them to do that. And she's like deflated. I'm like, ooh, she must be having a bad day because she always talks to people with a smile and is happy and all of that. So really this is a good example of how the attitudes mirror your mind, right? So if you're in a bad head place, it's hard to project a positive attitude, right? It's hard to fake it. we have who's been waiting to go to Culver's? Beth's been wanting to go to Culver's. You know what? Culver's is fantastic. We have this thing here in Wisconsin. It's not ice cream. We have ice cream here in Wisconsin, but we have this other thing that is like, it's called custard. But it's not the kind of custard I grew up thinking that custard was when I was in Massachusetts. So in Massachusetts, like custard was like this dessert thing that was a little chunky. This custard it looks like ice cream, but it's completely smooth and they make it fresh every single day. And it's absolutely incredible. So if you like smooth tasting ice cream like you've never experienced in your entire life, you gotta check out Culver's. But they say that, he says in this book, attitudes do make the difference. So you want to grow the attitude. He says there's three different types of attitudes, and you want to make them your allies in everything that you do. The first one is to grow the attitude of I'm activated. So to activate others, you must first activate yourself, right? What does that mean? It means that you need to be enthusiastic. If you want others to be enthusiastic about what it is that you're doing, you need to be enthusiastic about what it is that you're doing, right? And so enthusiasm grows enthusiasm. If I'm enthusiastic, like the other day I was laughing at something and my daughter totally didn't get the joke. But she was laughing. I'm like, wait a minute, you just said you didn't get the joke. She's like, I was laughing because of how hard you were laughing. Have you ever noticed that? Like somebody else is like laughing, like a good gut laugh, and they're laughing so hard, and you just can't help but like smile and laugh with them. That's enthusiasm, right? It's like, it's contagious. Other people start catching it. They might not even know why they're catching it, but they just start catching on to that energy. Enthusiasm, he says, can make things 1,100% better. It's so true. If you are enthusiastic about what it is that you do, you're going to enjoy what it is that you're doing. And when you enjoy what it is that you're doing, the other people are going to enjoy doing it with you. Now, I have my online tutoring students. They always love to ask this question. How much time is left? And I'd be like, oh, we only have 10 minutes. Isn't that so sad? And they'll be like, it is sad. I love hanging out with you. I'm like, I know. I love hanging out with you. And so it's like at the end, guess what they say? Oh, I wish we had more time. Versus, oh, thank goodness we're done. Woohoo! Right? Because enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm. So there's a 3-step process he mentions to develop the power of enthusiasm. He says, dig into it deeper. Make this little test. Think of 2 things in which you have little or no interest. Maybe cards, certain kinds of music, sport. Now ask yourself, how much do I really know about these things? Odds are 100 to 1 that your answer is not much. So this exercise supplies one important key for building enthusiasm. To get enthusiastic, learn more about the thing that you're not enthusiastic about. Because chances are you're quite enthusiastic about bumblebees. But if you study bumblebees, find out what good they do, how they relate to other bees, how they reproduce, where they live in the winter. If you find out all you can about bumblebees, you're going to soon find yourself really interested in bumblebees. So first, if you want to be able to have enthusiasm, just study more about what it is that you are doing. The second thing you can do to build up your enthusiasm is in everything you do, life it up. Right? So he says here now, okay, so inside the book he says when you shake hands, shake hands. You guys, I'm going to suggest you don't shake hands right now, at least for the next year, okay? Maybe you're going to life it up with a big heart. My mom decided that when she came out here, she's from Massachusetts where things were really bad for a long time. And she just came to visit me and she would just say to people, I'm choosing not to hug people, but here's my love to you. You know, it was really cute. I was like, oh, that's really sweet. Like, you know, she still wants to acknowledge and do something, but at the same time, not put herself in danger. So that's really cool. So you can also, you guys, smile with your eyes. I'll never forget the first time I heard this. My daughter actually said it to me. I was having her pick out a picture of myself. I said, which is really hard to do when it's you, right? Because you find all of the things that are bad with yourself, right? I'm like, which picture do you like best, Caitlin? And she looked at them and she goes, I like this one best. And I'm like, why do you like that one best? She goes, because you're smiling with your eyes. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize I smile with my eyes. So your eyes actually become bigger and like more engaged when you smile with your eyes. I didn't even know it was something that I naturally did, but she noticed that. So that is something that you can do, smile with your eyes. And this is really important now that we've got this, right? But notice how my face changes, my eyes change when I do this. You notice my eyebrows go up, my eyes open up just a little bit more, right? So even though you might have a face mask on, people could still see this or this. They can still see the change in your eyes. So he says, life up your thank yous. So a lot of times we'll just kind of give like an automatic thank you, right? Like, oh, thank you. But he's saying like, life it up. All right. So like use expression. You can add more words. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Right. You can add a little softness to your voice. You could add a little enthusiasm to your voice. Thank you. You could practice saying thank you in the mirror so you can kind of get this, right? Because it's really hard to say thank you to yourself, which you should be doing because you do a lot of great things for yourself. But you should, when you're eating healthy, you could say thank you. Thank you for making the good choice for eating healthy. Go, way to go. When you meet somebody at the cashier, at any place, right? You can be like, thank you so much. Thank you. And it goes a long way. Give eye contact to them. So many people are not used to giving eye contact to other people, but I'm going to tell you, it makes a difference. He says to life up your talk. So when you're saying like good morning to someone, you're like, hey, good morning. Or you're like, good morning. Life it up, right? Be an I feel great person. So you always want to broadcast good news. So are you the person who's sharing all the bad news and terrible things that are happening? Or are you a person who's sharing all the good news and things that are happening? If you're sharing all of the good news, you're going to get the attention of all the people around you. So he says, be an I feel great person. Being around complainers and half-dead people, it's not only uncomfortable, but guess what begins to happen? People don't really want to be around you. They want to be around the people that are kind of happy-go-lucky, have a lot of enthusiasm. Because what you are, they end up receiving. They end up receiving a little bit of that energy. Now, he says you need to grow the you are important attitude. So each human being, whether you live in India or Indianapolis, whether you're ignorant or brilliant, civilized or uncivilized, young or old, you have a desire. You want to feel important. Everyone. He says, yes, everyone, even your neighbor, your wife, your boss, they have this natural desire to be somebody worth knowing, somebody that people enjoy being around, right? So let's make people feel like they're important instead of something that could be like swept underneath the rug. He says people do more for you when you make them feel important. It pays. He says it pays to make little people feel like big people. So, I don't really like that term, little people, because he's talking about, like here, he says today in thousands of offices all over America, secretaries are helping salesmen make sales or lose sales depending on how the salesman has treated them. But I don't see somebody who's a secretary as little people. I don't see somebody who is a garbage man as a little person. No, they are a human being. Okay? It doesn't matter what they're choosing as a career. A career is just a piece of them. It's not who they are, right? So we shouldn't be treating anybody like they're just little people or lowly people, right? We really need to acknowledge all of the people that we come into contact with as if they were the most important person we came in contact with today. And when you can do this, you are going to seriously create so much more karma for you and your tutoring business that it's going to be incredible. You're going to have so many more people that are going to want to help you. You're going to have so many more people that are going to want to follow you, right? So think about it. If you're creating a YouTube, video, do it with enthusiasm, right? Don't use that low, I'm teaching to the whole entire crowd, stagnant voice. Uplift yourself. Get excited. This is exciting stuff. We've got somebody here. Let's see. We got Sharon Ingraham. She said, with masks on, concentrate on your eyes to show positiveness. My grandson graduated from high school yesterday, social distancing and no hugs. I know it's so hard. It's so hard with no hugs, isn't it? So yesterday we actually had our celebration for my nephew who graduated this year. We had a party in the park, and I just made sure not to hug anybody. And it was really interesting because I just have like this one pavilion area, and we have this new rule in Wisconsin that you do have to it's the mask mandate, and so it's an open area. The entire area is open. There's just like a little bit of one little area that's a covering, but it doesn't have any sides or anything. And they considered it inside a building, and they said that you must have masks on while you are at that area. I was like, okay, you know what? Then that's what it is. So I brought my mask with me to be able to use in case it was something that needed to be used. The other thing that they say here is practice appreciation. So there's so many different ways that we can practice appreciation. We can say thank you to somebody verbally if they're right there with us. We can send a thank you inside of an email, snail mail. We'll call that the stuff that you get in the mailbox, right? Snail mail. You can send appreciation to people in one of those like e-cards that like they get instantly. They can open on up and, you know, maybe it sings or dances to them, right? You could say thank you. You can give somebody a raise. You can compliment somebody. This is all things where you can practice appreciation. Now, you want to make sure that it's honest and personalized, right? Because that's going to make the difference for you. Exactly. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So true. So true. So you don't want to waste any of your time or mental energy trying to satisfy people, like classifying people as very important persons, or unimportant persons. Don't make any exceptions. Just treat everybody as if they're a very important person. VIP all the way, right? Practice calling people by name. This is really a great tip. So if you can remember people's names, some of us are better at it than others, but when somebody tells you their name, try to use their name 5 to 10 times in the first couple of minutes of chatting with them. Or find something about their face that makes them kind of stick out to remind you of that name. For instance, it could be, like if someone's trying to remember that my name's Joanne. I have a brother who's named Joe, so I'm going to associate Joe and Joanne. So my brother Joe is standing next to Joanne. Joe, Joanne. And I'm going to pretend to introduce them inside of my head. Joanne, meet my brother Joe. Joe, meet my new friend Joanne. So you could make some kind of an association, whether it be with their face, with somebody you know, something that's going to make them stick out so that you can remember their name. I find online, I try to make sure that I'm also pronouncing people correctly, like the best that I can. Sometimes I have some people who come to me, they have a name from another country, and I don't have the sounds in my language to make it, and I try the best that I can, or we come up with another solution. But usually, I try to use their name exactly as they pronounce it the best that I can. He says, don't hog glory. Invest it instead. He gives an example of a sales convention. He says, after dinner that evening, the vice president in charge of sales for the company passed out awards to the 2 district managers, a man and a woman whose sales organizations had attained the best records for the year just ended. Then the vice president asked the district managers to take 15 minutes to tell the entire group how their organization did so exceptionally well. The first district manager, who I later learned had been appointed a manager only 3 months before and was therefore only partially responsible for his organization's record, got up and explained how he did it. He conveyed the impression that his efforts and his efforts alone caused the sales increase. Remarks such as, when I took over, I did such and such. Things were in a mess, but I cleared them up. It wasn't easy, but I just grabbed hold of the situation and wouldn't let go. That pretty much organized his talk. Then the second district manager got up to make the short talk, but this lady used an entirely different approach. First, she explained the reason for her organization's success and how it was the wholehearted effort of the entire sales force. And then she asked each one to stand on up and paid a sincere, personal compliment to each of them for their efforts. And notice the difference here. The first manager squandered the vice president's praise entirely on himself. And in doing so, he offended his own people. His sales force was demoralized. The second passed the praise on to her sales force where it could do more good. This manager knew that praise, like money, can be invested to pay dividends. She knew that passing the credit on to her salespeople would make them work even harder next year. So think about how you can point people out and what an amazing job they do. I know for me, I couldn't personally run the online tutor coach without Beth as my VA. She does such an incredible job of making sure that people enter the ultimate support group, feeling acknowledged when they come on in, that they're not ignored, that they're not just like a new number or name that comes in, but they're actual people. She takes time to really go on in and make sure that if they have any questions, they get answered. She also helps on these kinds of calls with being able to answer people's questions, direct people to different videos that might help them that we've created on the YouTube channel. And she helps with any other tasks that I need additional help with. And I appreciate it so much. And then I've got some amazing coaches on our team. We've got Sam, who's our tech guy. And Sam is absolutely incredible. Sam, if you ever have like a tech issue, you can contact him and he is going to be able to guide you into a solution. But what I think is really cool is if he doesn't have a solution, he's going to find a solution for you because he understands tech a little bit better. He can maybe like search for things a little bit differently than you might be able to search for something. And so Sam works in the Insider Secrets Club and with our Jumpstart group. We've got Ashley. Ashley DiMercurio is Sam's wife, and Ashley is a reading tutor who has also become a coach. And Ashley is absolutely incredible reading teacher. She took the reading interventionist, and I mean, she aced the final test with like flying colors. She knew absolutely everything about teaching reading, and she goes on to have great success with not only her own students, but she's helping to lead people in the Jumpstart group and inside of the reading interventionist course, which I wouldn't be able to lead without her in that position. And Suzanne Davis, oh my gosh, Suzanne has so many different amazing qualities to her. Suzanne, like, if you want something really done well, Suzanne is your go-to girl. She will do anything like really, really well. I love having webinars with her because she always creates a guide to kind of help people go along with it. She is always very helpful with helping people with blogging and Pinterest. She's created courses to be able to guide them. And then we've got Terry Grigsby. Now, Terry's been going through a tough time recently. She's had a concussion. But the enthusiasm that she brings to her team, no matter what, even if she's like in pain, she's like, I want to be able to serve. I want to be able to help these tutors. All of these people, they make it possible for the online tutor coach to exist and to be able to serve you and help you. And it's so exciting to be a part of that. So thank you, everybody who is, inside of this community and this group. I think that our community, our group, like our Insider Secrets Club, is so valuable because of each of the people that are inside of it. The Insider Secrets Club isn't made up of tutors that are just out for their own benefit. They really do care about helping other people. And they comment, they help, they give solutions, they give strategies, they offer suggestions, and they're great accountability partners. They're people who you can really count on inside of our community. And our community is as great as it is because of each of the people that's chosen to be a member of it. So, you guys, it's really, 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 really awesome. So, the last thing that he says is, if you want to make money, then you need to have a service first attitude. And there was Russell H. Conwell, who's the author of Acres of Diamonds. He was criticized for urging people to make money because he's a minister. But the minister said, look, money printed your Bible, money builds your churches, money sends you missionaries, and money pays your preachers. And you would not have many of them either if you did not pay them. So true, right? And so in our business, we need to make money in order to be able to continue having this as a career. Making money is not a bad thing. But we're making money because we are being of service, right? People are paying for our services to be able to get a certain result. And I think that's really important, that you always have to keep the I'm being of service attitude before the I'm making money attitude, because it's all about helping people. And the more people that you can help, the more people that you can make a lasting impact on. Well, thanks for joining me, you guys, for chapter 8 of Making Your Attitudes Your Friends. Now, in chapter 9 next week, we're going to be focusing on thinking right toward people. So join us next week as we really are touching on the magic of thinking big and how we can think right toward people. I will see all of you guys soon. Bye, everyone.